the United States Supreme Court decided today that they are going to hear the merits of Trump's case. I cannot stress to you how big of a deal this case will be. So here's what it's about. On his very first day in office, you may remember, President Trump signed an executive order called Protecting the Meaning and Value of American Citizenship. That order revokes the right of babies born in this country to automatically gain U.S. citizenship the day they are born. Now, not all babies are subject to this order. If both of the baby's parents are American citizens, or just one of them is an American citizen, of course, that baby is also going to be a U.S. citizen. But if that baby is born to, one, both parents who are not here legally, or two, born to a mother whose presence was lawful but only temporary, and a father who is not here legally, under this Trump order, that baby would not get to be a U.S. citizen. And even if the state where that baby is born issues that child some kind of government birth document and the baby's parents fall into one of those categories, the federal government will not accept that document. Now, if the Supreme Court decides Trump is right, that according to Trump's order, only babies born in this country after February 20th of 2025 to parents who fall into one of those two categories would not be granted U.S. citizenship. This would not apply to anyone born in the United States before February 20th. But hold up. You're probably thinking, I thought birthright citizenship was included in the United States Constitution. You're right. It is. The 14th Amendment, which has been around for more than 150 years, grants citizenship to all babies born in the United States. And on top of that, more than 125 years ago, the United States Supreme Court ruled the 14th Amendment applies to all babies, even if that baby's parent or parents are not here legally. Oh, and there's also a federal law from 1952 that also says all children born in this country, regardless of their parents' legal status, are entitled to U.S. citizenship. So how can Trump just then sign an executive order and get rid of birthright citizenship rights that are literally in the Constitution, in the law, and part of the Supreme Court precedent for more than 100 years? He can't. That's why this executive order still has not taken effect. Every single federal court judge who has heard this case has said that Trump's order is a blatant violation of the United States Constitution. And each of those federal judges has issued some kind of preliminary injunction to stop him. But now the Supreme Court wants to take a crack at it. So you might be thinking, Lisa, if this is so clear cut in the Constitution, in the Supreme Court precedent, and in federal law, then why are the justices taking up this case at all? Well, I have no idea why the Supreme Court does what it does, but I can tell you why President Trump thinks what he's doing is legal. And it has to do with 5 words in the 14th Amendment. The very first line of Section 1 of the 14th Amendment says, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Seems pretty clear cut, right? Well, Trump says not so fast. The 5 words he is zeroing in on are subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Trump and his legal team are making the argument that parents who are not full citizens of the United States, and by extension their newborn babies, are not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. Therefore, they are not allowed to be covered by the 14th Amendment. Seems like a stretch, right? Well, even the Trump team says this is a novel interpretation of the 14th Amendment, and even some conservatives definitely believe this is a fringe theory. But even so, the Supreme Court wants to hear the arguments from both sides of this case. So what's going to happen? Well, the Supreme Court is going to hear oral arguments in this birthright citizenship case at some point, probably in early 2026. And we're likely going to get a ruling at the end of the Supreme Court's term in late June. But if the court sides with Trump on this one and blocks birthright citizenship for some babies born in the United States, we will see a complete upheaval of a pillar of the United States Constitution.
Things are about to get messy in 2026. Those Trump voters, where you guys at? Some of you all have benefited from the birthright citizenship, and now look, the Supreme Court needs to affirm this. We need to end birth tourism and start giving away our benefits to people who aren't part of our country. We pay too many taxes and we have too many people stealing our taxpayer dollars. A lot of countries in the world don't have birthright citizenship. Why is this a problem? I literally cannot afford groceries, but no, this is a priority issue. The Supreme Court about to undo 200 years of progress.
If your parents were illegal immigrants and you were born here, you should be deported. You and your parents should be deported. The 14th Amendment does not apply to you. The 14th Amendment was about slavery. The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment was about slavery, not illegal immigration. I said what I said.
I absolutely love how much the MAGA agenda and Christianity contradict each other. You claim that you support the Constitution, but you attack the Constitution. Make it make sense, because MAGA can't wrap their minds around.
Trump's order, if you remember, says that kids born in the United States to illegal immigrants or short-term visitors shouldn't automatically get citizenship. Now, immediately lawsuits hit, claiming it violates the 14th Amendment, specifically the phrase subject to the jurisdiction thereof. I mean, that's the entire fight, really. Does it mean anyone physically here for 5 minutes, or people who actually owe full political allegiance to the United States? Now, for context, the 14th Amendment was written in 1868 to guarantee citizenship to freed slaves, not to answer modern questions about illegal immigration or birth tourism. And the big court case that everyone seems to cite dealt with parents who were here legally and permanently living here, not people who were here unlawfully or temporarily. Pure research, this one's pretty wild, says that births to unauthorized immigrants used to hit around 755,000 people a year. I mean, that's roughly 7% of all U.S. births. I mean, that's why it matters. This ruling could reshape immigration incentives, taxpayer costs, and border policy overnight. So the Supreme Court will now decide, is automatic citizenship for everyone born here truly required by the Constitution, or is America overdue for a reset? Whatever they choose, this is one of the most important cases of our lifetime.
It's been abused for so long, and it was never intended to be used in this way. Stop making it easy and lucrative, and the behavior will slow or stop. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are on this, because I can see the place is a little bit divided. Because some people say, hey, this is the Constitution, you can't go ahead and change it. This is unconstitutional. But others say that it does need a reset. Leave your comments down. Let me know what your thoughts are on this.
So the United States Supreme Court decided to take the case and hear about whether or not the Orange Clown himself can end birthright citizenship to children who's born in America regardless of their parents' citizenship status. Well, I just have one motherfucking quick question though. Where are all the fucking Vietnamese Trump supporters at? You know, those that came in the mid-70s right after the fall of Saigon, the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, and nowadays legally. Who's study hard, work hard, own a bunch of motherfucking businesses, get married, have kids. What would your motherfuckers do or say when the Supreme Court of the United States say that the orange cloud that your motherfuckers so supportive of and voted for can end the birthright citizenship to your own fucking children regardless of your fucking citizenship status?
Thank you for calling that out. Vietnamese people were so supportive of that clown for what reason? Right, the beginning of losing all rights, the Constitution going straight to the trash. You know, what's contradictory is that we have people who have benefited from birthright citizenship that are part of MAGA and are trying to shoot this down.
So your father is not a citizen of the United States?
He's not.
And your mother, when did your mom take the citizenship test? Was it before or after you were born?
After I was born.
After you were born. Okay.
After years of being in this, following the legal process of becoming a naturalized citizen, she followed it through the legal process. And
so you gained citizenship through birthright then?
Well, but you gain citizenship through birthright citizenship in that sense too, right?
Wait, I'm sorry, just to backtrack. So your father is not a citizen,
They came to this country legally.
He was put on the hot seat for sure. It's always the people that directly benefit from it that are entitled, that want to take it away from others.
Marco Rubio is an American because of birthright citizenship. Born in Florida to Cuban immigrants who became citizens in 1975, his story shows how the 14th Amendment defines us as a nation of opportunity and inclusion. And you got Bobby Jindal, born in Baton Rouge in 1971, and he's a U.S. citizen thanks to birthright citizenship again. His mother, a legal permanent resident, was getting her graduate degree when he was born. birthright citizenship.
All of them benefit from it, obviously contributed to the country as they are in the government, but don't want others to also do the same.
The Constitution is dead. That's not hyperbole, that's not fear-mongering, that's not exaggeration. The Supreme Court agreed to hear a case to overturn the 14th Amendment, birthright citizenship. Rather than just refusing to hear the case, which would uphold the lower court's ruling of saying, this is unconstitutional, you can't do that, bro, the court's like, you know what, we're going to hear your argument on this, okay? Maybe not everyone deserves to be a citizen if they're born here. You know, like the Constitution itself freaking says. If you didn't understand the severity of the harm that Donald Trump and his administration are doing to the country, I hope you do now. And for all of you MAGA chuckleheads over here in my comments going, well, that was only for the descendants of slaves after the Civil War, shut up. Because the law, as it is written right now, per the Constitution, says that everyone born on U.S. soil, unless you are the child born of a foreign diplomat, is automatically granted U.S. citizenship. And in case you didn't know, they're also moving to make dual citizenship illegal. So if you have dual Italian or Irish citizenship, they're going to force you to choose, if that bill passes, it was introduced by Bernie Moreno in the House of Representatives, whether or not you want to be an American citizen. And if you don't respond within a year, they're just going to strip you of your citizenship. The irreparable harm that will be done to this country, the people who live here, and our reputation around the world, should the Supreme Court rule in Trump's favor, is unfathomable, really. But here we are. We know that the right wing basically wants everyone who doesn't look like me out. They want a reason to kick people who don't look like me out. But I have news for them. A lot of people who look exactly like me and are very, very much like me aren't entirely A4, if you know what I mean.
Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on the change on birthright citizenship. If this would actually be invoked, leave your comments down below. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel. If you haven't, also check out this video. I'm sure you're definitely going to enjoy it. But nevertheless, I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.